It don't matter if you have 1,000 in your savings account. It don't matter if you have 10,000 on your credit card. You have $500, and $500 is what you have. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Second. Hope everybody is doing well. To all my subscribers, thank you. And if you're new to this channel, welcome, darling. Guys, this is part 2 of the last video where we were talking about just, remembering what this season is all about. That it is about the birth of Jesus Christ and not just Santa Claus and all his gifts and different things. But it's also remembering the birth of Christ. Right now, I'm doing part 2 of this video, which is also an encouragement on Christmas budgeting tips, guys. Why am I talking about Christmas budgeting tips? First of all, you already know that I'm an accountant, and money, to me, managing money is number 1 on my, every list. I just manage money. Ain't out here in the streets just spending money as if I'm some kind of rich kid just buying things. No, boo. No. Budgeting to me is number 1. Now, there are some people who don't budget very well and they have serious issue in managing money. And when you get money, as soon as you get money, it's out of your hands. Now, let's be honest. It takes way more time to get money as opposed to losing money. Okay, you spend and the money disappears. Was this just what I was working for a whole month for? Let's be realistic, people. You stay on your hard labor for an entire month, and then in 1 week time, you ask yourself, but where the money what happened, where is the money that I just work a whole month for? And you have to grind and figure out how am I gonna survive and do all these things. Well, guys, that's because you need to budget. You need to budget. Budgeting is very, 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 very important. Okay, in this day and age with inflation going up constantly, you need to manage money because prices of things are not getting any cheaper. And your salary is not getting any higher either. Okay, your salary is not moving up with the rate in which prices are going up. Okay, so you need to budget. Now, for me personally, before budgeting, you need to get your mind in a space that you're able to budget in. Budgeting takes a lot of discipline. If you do not set in your mind that I am going to budget, then you will never do it. You need to budget in your mind first before you actually start to put things on paper and Excel sheets. You need to budget in your mind first. It starts in your mind. You need to be disciplined. Now, how is it that you're going to budget in your mind? Well, boo-boo, let me tell you. You need to tell yourself that you have this amount of money and that only. It don't matter what your book show. It don't matter what your credit card show. It don't matter what anything is. You need to tell yourself, I have $500 and I only have $500. It don't matter if you have 1,000 in your savings account. It don't matter if you have 10,000 on your credit card. You have $500 and $500 is what you have. You need to start convincing yourself of the amount of money that you have, people. You need to convince yourself of that first, people. That in your mind, it's $500 that you have. So, firstly, let's fix our minds first. Because sometimes we think that we have a lot of money just because our credit card say this amount, but we don't realize our credit card is literally just a loan. And then our savings is not money that we're supposed to be touching. It is for goals. Secondly, as I mentioned in goals, is goals, people. If you don't have a goal, you cannot budget. You need to have short-term goals and long-term goals. That is standard. This is me. I've been like that since I've been in high school. I have had short-term goals and I've had long-term goals. Short-term in the sense of within the next month, what I want to accomplish. Within the next 6 months, what I want to accomplish. Long-term, within the next year, what I want to accomplish. You understand? So for example, guys, very soon, I will share that with you guys very soon. And that's just a financial decision. I'm just being transparent because very soon, God spare, God mercies, we will be purchasing our first home. Why are we in the position to purchase our first home? Is because we are very, very, very taekwondo on budgeting. It's we are very, very serious when it comes to budgeting, people. And so that's our goal. So now in my mind, I know my goals, and in my mind, I am conditioned to think that I only have a certain amount of money. Not that I have that amount of money, but that's what I have, because there are some monies that I can't touch because it's tied to a goal. Do you get what I mean? What is your goal today? I'm asking you because you need to have one. What is your goal? What is it that you're setting forward to accomplish? You need to save towards that goal. Now, when it comes to budgeting, here's how I budget. And I'm not going to give you no fancy thing, because I'm not a complicated person. I budget in terms of percentages, right? I budget in terms of percentages. You have a certain amount of money you get every month. That's your salary. After the government takes whatever they take, and whoever, like you get whatever amount of money you get on your account. That is where I start with it as 100%. So next to that, I would put 100%. Now that is like simple budgeting tips. I have like on a monthly basis, I have like more in-depth budgeting with Excel sheets, where I break down amounts in like what I'm spending to kind of keep track over month. But if you want a video about monthly budgeting, like definitely comment down below and say that you're interested in that video. But I'm just talking about for Christmas what you could do. I have an amount, and that amount of money I set as 100%. Next, below that 100%, at the end of it, we need to go like a funnel. We need to bring it down to 0. Okay? So how we're gonna get that down to 0 is we start going by percentages. So for example, I would have 100%. Next thing I would say, let's say for hypothetically, and I will put it on the screen, my salary, let's say, is $2,000. I put like next to it, that's 100%. Below that, I would put 10%. Let's say it's 2,000 I receive, salary you receive. That's the amount I receive in the bank after they take whatever, $2,000. 10%, I put tithe. Now there are some people who don't tithe. I tithe, and I think tithing is very important. It's a biblical principle, and please don't comment down below about why you think tithing is not necessary. And I think tithing is very necessary. That's covered our finances for years. It's a principle that works, and it's a principle that is basically, it's a true principle. Like I've seen it numerous times. Like God has covered us because of our constant tithing. You understand? So if tithing, you don't tithe, then that's you. 10% you put tithe. Okay. So for me, 10% would be tithe. After the 10%, we're left with 90%. Oftentimes, expenses I put as 50%. When I put expenses, so guys, my camera just cut off and I just had to like fix that. So now I had to come and put the battery. Anyhow, guys, what I was saying, yeah, the 90% that you're left with, oftentimes 50%, oftentimes 60%. Maybe in the year 2000, it used to be 50%, but around 60% is going to fall into expenses, right? Around 60% is going to fall into expenses, guys. Expenses, by expenses I mean your rent, and if you're married, your contribution to rent, like from your salary. Plus, like for me, we could do marriage budgeting on a whole other day, and I can include sinner, because really and truly our finances are one. We don't separate finances into your money, my money. It's our money. Everything's all together. We don't do it like that. So we basically, 60% would obviously most times be expenses. By expenses I mean rent, electricity, car payments, whatever it is, would fall into 60% of the bulk of the money. And then you're left with 30%. You need to save at least 10%. You need to save at least 10%, people, of your salary. I would say at least. If you could try to do 20, then try. But the more you save, the more you deprive yourself of things. Because the remainder of the money would be things like entertainment and whatever else there is left to do. That you see something you want, blah, blah, you go places. That's what the remainder of the money would be. But you need to save something. You need to save something. Now, you may tell me, but my expenses are more than 60%. Boo, that's a problem. That is a problem. If your expenses are more than 60% of your salary, then you need to find a hustle to supplement your income to help you go above water. You need to find a hustle. If you can't find a hustle, you need to cut back on expenses. Now, you can cut back on expenses, guys. It's very possible. Okay, like for example, where we are renting here, we could have rented in a much more elaborate place, and I have to do an apartment tour. You know, it's a decent sized apartment tour, but I mean, we could have gotten something bigger. It's not to say we could not afford it and whatnot, but it's like my expenses has to stay in a certain percentage bracket. I cannot go above that because it's gonna put me too tight. It's gonna put me cash strapped. I won't have any space to do anything. You understand what I mean? So we found things that fit into those percentages, and this keeps me sane. You need to try it out and let me know. Even now, just try out to see what percentage of your income goes towards expenses. If it's more than 60%, boo, you need to cut back somewhere. You need to cut down on something. You need to cut back somewhere. If you're not cutting back, you need to find something to supplement your income, because you're going to always feel financially trapped. You understand? So the remainder of the money would be like 20%. Now, 20% would be like, just give you room to like do things for the month, like entertainment, random things, you know. It just gives you space. Now, even in that 20%, you could cut back on things that you do and save more. It depends on your goal. You understand? If your goal requires a lot of savings, then you're gonna have to increase the percentage, like in our case. Because buying a home requires you to have a lot of money up front, so savings are a very big thing for us. So you would see even in my grocery video and my haul video, when we're shopping for things, we're literally frugal. Like, we're literally looking for deals, the cheapest options, just because we're in a tight budget, because we have a goal of getting our place soon. And so after we get our place, like, that's gonna change. Like, the percentages will change, because we would have now more money to spend in other areas. You understand? So, like, for example, I would tell you where I cut back on expenses. Like, we look for things that fit within our expense budget, which would be 60% of whatever that income is. And if it don't fit, then we don't take it. Like, for example, vehicle payments of vehicles and whatnot. We are well unable to get a vehicle. We choose not to have a vehicle. One of the reasons why we choose not to have a vehicle is because it's an additional expense. It's going to raise our expense budget and lower our savings budget. So we choose to refrain from having a vehicle and just taking the bus, because on the bus we don't have to pay insurance and whatever. So we're kind of like, even though we have bus expenses, we're saving on the money. We're saving on monies that we would have otherwise spent on a vehicle. Now, the major thing about vehicle is convenience, right? Like, it's very convenient to have a vehicle. But for us right now, convenience is not a priority in our minds. Our place is our priority. So we would rather stay away from a vehicle and save more money towards getting our place. Now, some people tell you, no, my girl, I need a vehicle and whatnot. That's you. People tell you, oh, no, I need a vehicle and whatnot. Then that's your goal right there. That's your goal right there. If something is not supporting your goal, then you don't need it. If something is not supporting your goal, then you stay away from it. You understand what I'm telling you? We don't have babies as yet, and so a vehicle for us is not really, like, we don't see it as a major convenience right now. Although we're very inconvenient when we're doing things like groceries and whatnot, but we can deal with that just to keep within our budget and stick to our goal. You understand what I'm telling you? So a goal at the end of the day is extremely important, because it helps keep you on track. So that's the second thing right there, guys, and the breakdown of the budget. And you could try using those percentages and let me know what you think about it, even in Christmas shopping. If you have a budget of $500, that's what it is. Gifts, put a percentage to gifts. Calculate and see how much money you're working with for gifts. And you don't pass that, you know. Sometimes we think gifts has to be something that's so elaborate and something that's so... It's the thought that counts, people. It's you taking time out and really... It's the experience as opposed to the gift. I'm not a gift person. I'm more or less like a quality time person when it comes to love language. But For some people, gifts are very important. For me, not so much. Like even in this Christmas season, because we, for example, we had a lot of big purchases happening this month, we decided not to do Christmas gifts as a family. That's our decision we decided to take, because again, we know what our goal is, we know the time frame that we're working with, and we're cutting back on certain things. Gifts is one of them for Christmas. Now focus on experiences, spending a lot of time with each other, playing games, having laughter, eating, different things like that, going out. That's where we choose to put our emphasis this Christmas season, as opposed to gifts under the Christmas tree. I am still gonna have my Christmas tree, but it won't have gifts this season, and that's fine, because as a family we understand that right now, budget wise, it's just not happening for any of us. You understand? So that's our decision. What is your decision? If you decide to have gifts and whatever, set a Christmas budget. Say if you have $500 for Christmas, what percentage is for gifts, what percentage is for decorations? You know, set it up like that. Decorations are very expensive, but you could do like, look for deals on decorations. You don't have to spend an elaborate amount of money on decorations just cause. You understand what I mean? You could do DIY projects. I'm doing a DIY project on some of my decorations because that's just the cheaper option, boo. So you have to know what works best for you in your family, in your budget. You understand? So for example, as a Christmas budget, my advice, whatever your amount is, probably set like set 30% on decorations, 30% on gifts, 30% on experiences. By experiences, I mean like outings, whatever, going out, doing different things, doing restaurants, going to a play, going to a musical, different things like that. You might want to set that to like 30%. And food should not be included. Leave 10% just as like a safe margin. Food should be included in your normal grocery shopping kind of situation, and stick to that budget, guys. Set an amount. Don't just go blindly into Christmas and be like, oh, I'm just gonna buy every decoration I see, I'm just gonna buy every gift I see. No. What is the amount out of your original budget that you have left to spend on Christmas? That should be where your Christmas budget starts. That should be where it starts. And then break it down and go like that. You know, so for example, in this situation, let's say my $2,000 budget, I have left over, I would say this month, I would say 10% and the 20% was what I would have left over. $400 is what I have to spend on Christmas. It seems like a small amount of money, but there are a lot of people working with just that amount of money. If you're privileged and you have a lot more than that, then God bless you. Bless another person, but there's a lot of people working with just $400 left over from their regular budgets. You know, so if $400 is your budget, then you might want to, you know, spend less on gifts, less on decorations, less on gifts, whatever is more important to you at the time, you know, and go merry. But never go using your credit card, blowing out your credit card during Christmas, and then come January, you have a credit card debt on your account that is appreciating by 19% interest. No, boo, that's not sustainability right there. We're not up for that, you know. So stay away from the overspending on your credit cards. Stay away from loans. Stay away from all these things and work with what you have. Okay, and your takeaway from this video should be to set a goal. What is your goal? Your goal will tell me a lot of things. It will tell me a lot of things about how you're spending your money. Because if you have no goals, it makes sense that you're just out here in the street, just, you see this, you buy it. You see this, you buy it. You know, no. Do you need it? If you do not need it, then you stay away from it when you have a goal. Because your goal is your priority. Okay, and goals are very important. They take you from different stages in life, from point A to point B to different things, you know. Initially, we were in a very small apartment. Now we're in an apartment almost twice the size of where we were previously. And I will do an apartment show to show you guys. Like, I could not do an empty apartment show, but I will show you guys after like I decorate for Christmas, what it looks like and so forth. But yeah, we're in a bigger apartment now, you know, because we had goals. Next, boo. You want to stay tuned for what's next, because it will hit you like a real sunshine and show you why goals and budgeting is very, very important, people. Guys, I really do hope that you enjoyed this video. I've been ranting and going on and on and on about money management because I'm very passionate about budgeting and money management. You know, that is like my thing. So I would be talking for hours if you let me. So anyhow, guys, I hope that you got something from this video, some encouragement as you're going into this Christmas season to kind of push a leash on your spending and really think about January. And remember that you have to pay bus to go to work January, or remember that you have to put gas in your vehicle to go work to January. Okay, so I really do hope that you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, comment down below and let me know what are your thoughts on budgeting. Are you very good in money management? Do you need tips? Would you like to see more videos on money management and so forth? We could definitely cook that up for you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, my people. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate and love each and every one of you guys. Enjoy the holiday seasons and remember to eat a little bit of ham for your girl, you know. Okay, my people, catch you in the next one.